Hey guys, welcome back. Zach here. I know it's called football. Here to talk about the loss to Chelsea yesterday, 2-0. Deserved loss, another deserved loss, and a horrible start to the season is just getting worse. Forget about the 0 points, negative goal difference, sitting 19th. I think I haven't looked at the table since yesterday. We've lost two opening matches. I think the worst start to Premier League season. I think specifically because we haven't scored any goals. Now we haven't scored in four games, I think, including the preseason or 3 games, whatever it might be. And to make matters worse, to make things even more horrible, is we have City next in the Premier League. So, um, you know, the only question is are the players up for it? Is the manager gonna be able to pull something out of his hat against the man who I guess I could say used to be his mentor there at Man City for a couple years. Got the best of him in the FA Cup when we won it in 2019, but I honestly feel like that was a one-time thing. He got things right, and Pep, it was almost like it was all he had, Arteta. Obviously, we when we played them next in the Premier League, we got destroyed. Um, so I always try to be optimistic, but you have to be realistic, obviously. And I thought maybe we could get something out of the Chelsea game. Again, I have to say I was at work, so I watched maybe the last 30 minutes of the game, and here and there I would peek at my phone, and I was listening to it the whole time through. But I know we had a good start to the game. Maybe the first 10 minutes we looked lively and looked a bit threatening, but that doesn't that doesn't win you football matches. So all for nothing, really. I know Sambi Lokonga again was the sort of shining star and the really one of the only positives to the performance. Seems like another game where Tierney was just sort of bolting down the wing there, and we sort of just hoping for the best. It seems so dull. And again, he came off injured, so you know a chance for Nuno Tavares to step up, and he's looked promising certainly when he's come on. Um, I think he's an exciting signing. So we'll see what happens next game, which is West Brom. I'll talk more about that later in the video, but I just want to give my stance here on Mikel Arteta. I've always said, I think like most fans, ex-captain, spent a lot of time here, spent a lot of time under Arsene Wenger, and obviously loves this club. But I think it's sort of reached a point now where it doesn't seem like he can bring this club to where they should be, which is challenging. And yeah, he won the FA Cup, but look, we want the Premier League, and we want to challenge for Europe. Look at the way we just got toyed around with by the champions of Europe, and we're miles off of a performance, for a trophy like that. So, I will. It's not really playing devil's advocate here, I don't think. I think you really do have to feel for him at least. Going back to last season, even missing players like Thomas Partey, I mean, he's missed so many games for us through injury. I think he's only played like 33 games for us. He's hardly really even featured, and when he has played, I know in the back of my head it's sort of like Jack Wilshere, where you used to see Jack make a run and he'd dribble or beat a few players, and he'd go in for a tackle, going for a challenge, and you see him go down, and you just think, okay, well, there's another couple months out. I know Partey hasn't had a super serious injury like that that's left him, 9 months out, 8 months out, but it's just been so. I mean, unlucky is an understatement. Just this burden riddled injury, not even injury prone. He didn't have injuries at Atletico really, and the tackle that injured him in the last game, it was just unlucky. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I don't want to go off on a ramble for too much, but that was Arteta's main guy really. He pulls the strings, and that game last season against Manchester United, it was 1-0, but it was a controlled game, and he was pulling those strings. And it had been a couple years since we had won at United, and he was so obviously the difference in that game. I know people make comparisons a lot to the way Bruno Fernandes has changed Man U, and it might be overused, but I think it's because it's true. That's the job that Thomas Partey came in to do for Arsenal, and he did it. He did it against United. Excuse me. He's done it before in other games. It's just a shame that he's been injured so often. Again, I'm just trying to play a little devil's advocate here, and um, I'm not even at this point. I'm not protecting Arteta. I'm not making excuses for him, but um, it just seems like it's at the point now where the club, they're not gonna get rid of him after 2 games. They won't sack him. Um, I feel so bad. It's like they won't sack him yet. Was what I feel like is the only thing I can say. They're investing in him. They're investing in his, I guess, project, as we've heard a million times. And so when you invest that time and money into a manager, for your club, you expect results, and you're not getting them. But I think the club's still going to stick by him. So he's not going to go anywhere, I don't think, anytime soon, unless West Brom are coming up on Wednesday, I think, the Carabao Cup, and other fans have mentioned it's a way back into Europe, which is true. But I'm worried about this game against West Brom, and I mean, this team is just struggling so hard. I can't even imagine who we can beat. I was just watching the West Ham Leicester game, and even despite the red card that Leicester got, West Ham were looking just completely owning the game there against Leicester. I think it ended 4-1. They conceded 3 goals after the red card, or maybe it was 2 goals, but and that's a David Moyes side. He's got these players that he has the best out of them. They haven't gone and spent 130 million on anybody, and I'm not sure what they've spent, but it's nowhere near that price. And you have a manager who's experienced. He's experienced, I guess you could say, shortcomings as well, when he was at United, but did pretty well at Everton, you have to say, and now look what he did last season at West Ham. So, my question to fans is if you are watching and you get to this point, who would you bring in? Everyone's streaming for Antonio Conte, but would he come in? Is it something project? Is it something he'd be interested in? All jokes aside, is it a project he would like? Because to me, this job at Arsenal, it just seems like the club is sinking. The managers who come in, Unai Emery, and now obviously Arteta, it's just like it feels like the club is in quicksand. And does a manager like Antonio Conte want to take on a job this big? I'm not talking about a big club, Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal is a big club. I'm not talking about a big job as in you're managing Arsenal Football Club. I'm talking about fixing the club. I'm talking about getting back to results and people fearing coming up against this team, because I think that's the biggest job that you have. You have a lot of young players now brought in, and we have spent a lot of money. But again, that 130 million is it's really nothing compared to City and Chelsea, Man United as well. Liverpool have spent well, but you see these teams spending so well, and yeah, we spent 50 million on a defender, but we have this defender and William Saliba, and I know it's sort of a dead horse, and people, I don't want to really touch on that for too long, but surely if you're sending a player out for a 3rd season to develop, I mean, and you're willing to spend 50 million on a player, I'm sorry, but it doesn't make any sense to me that that he's still in your plans. I mean, if he's this talented and this promising a center back, don't you want him in your squad? Don't you want to help him progress yourself? As I would imagine Arteta would want to do as a manager who, seemingly likes working with young players. Emil Smith-Rowe, Bukayo Saka. Look at the players he's just brought in. All, I think, under 25, under 24. Young goalkeeper, young defenders. Tavares, Odegaard, 21, 22, I think. So, that's all I'll say about Saliba. But, just touching on the Bruno Fernandes thing again, I don't quite remember what United paid for him. I don't even think they paid too much for him. Probably worth more than they paid. I would imagine he's such a good player, but I think Arsenal should have spent maybe a little more on one player specifically. Maybe Odegaard can be that guy. I love Martin Odegaard. Don't get me wrong. In terms of his loan last season, he seems like a proper player, a leader. So we'll have to see what happens. But he's had the investments now, and just going back to the struggles with missing out players. We have injuries. Gabriel is injured. Obviously, Thomas Partey is out injured, but with COVID, people missing games through COVID. Obviously, Odegaard, just not eligible yet to play. Hopefully, he'll be eligible against West Brom. But players like Ben White, Lacazette, Aubameyang. I know he featured last 20 minutes or so against Chelsea, but you have these players who were just out, and these players are starting every game for you. I suspect Gabriel and Ben White are going to be those two center backs unless he plays a back three, which we've seen him do before, obviously. But I just don't know, man. At this point, it's just so. I wasn't even really excited for the Chelsea game. I was working, obviously I had work in the morning, and yeah, well, of course I want to watch Arsenal play, but in the back of my mind I was just thinking, would it be worth it? And again, I want to say the respect I have for all the Arsenal fans who, obviously I don't live in London, I've never been to London. The fans who have been going there for years and years and showing their support, not only with what they spend on tickets, season tickets, just going game after game, away and home. It's remarkable to, have fans like that who through all this club's been through, end of Arsene Wenger and Unai Emery's, sort of that really, really dark time before he had got sacked, and the fans were still showing up, because we want this club to do well. Of course we do. Really the most I can do for support is I guess kind of come on here and ramble about what I would like to see and watch the game and cheer on, scream as loud as I can. But that's about all I can do from here. So, I just want to touch on one more thing before we leave about outgoings. I know this video is a bit late now. The game was Saturday, in fact. Was it yesterday? I can't even remember now. But I've seen now that Willian seems to be on his way out to Corinthians in Brazil. That at least seems to be a destination that's possible. I know. I guess he wants to stay in Europe, but this is a player who, I don't think any Arsenal fans are really gonna ask for him to stay. It just hasn't worked out. The best thing is that he leaves. I think he liked the post about Chelsea. I'm not even gonna bother with it because it's just such a fucking shit. It's just such a shit show. I don't know if it's fake or not, but if it is real, it's such a slap in the face to fans. That a player would do that. I don't care how long you spent at that club. You're not with them anymore. They let you go, and unfortunately, he came to Arsenal. So. Kolasinac, I think, is looking to follow Ozil to Fenerbahce. No surprise there. I mean, another guy who just liked him when he was here, but it's just one of those players where I'm just not invested in it anymore. Players like him have to go. Sorry to say. Lucas Torreira seems to be going on loan. Florentina look like they're going to be interested in taking him on loan. Some small loan fee, yeah. There's an obligation to buy. I think it was 15 million. Lucas seems to have done a 180, and that's a player I'd like to see. I was getting into a bit of a discussion on Twitter about El Neni and why aren't we selling him? And well, first of all, Lucas Torreira is the much better player. Of course, you're going to have more offers for him. Perhaps a team like Besiktas, I think, were I butchered the pronunciation, but I think they were looking for him, or the rumors were false, or whatever the case may be. But El Neni is a player who is content with the amount of football he gets. He's not starting every game. He's not this playmaker, and perhaps we could have a player better in that position who can do better. And I'm not even saying we can't. Of course you can. I wouldn't be opposed to El Neni leaving, but apparently Arteta said that Torreira wasn't in his plans. And again, here's another player. William Saliba. You could throw Ozil in there, I guess. I won't give my piece on that, but it just seems like these are his decisions. So if he doesn't want these players here, there's not much we can do about it. And hopefully you get money in for them and reinvest it into someone else. That he thinks can help the squad moving forward. So one more player, I guess, Bellerin, Hector Bellerin looks to really be not pushing, but certainly he's a player who wants to leave, and I have no problem with this. Hector is a lot like Socrates last season. The rumors were circulating everywhere that he was leaving. Kept his head down, no cryptic posts, no timid. If he was selected for that team to play against Chelsea, he would have given his all, and I have lots of respect for Hector Bellerin. Young guy who came in, and I remember watching him against Dortmund that first time in the Champions League, and he didn't have a great game, but you saw that he wanted to play, for the club and that he cared. So all the best to Hector Bellerin if he does end up leaving. Right back's obviously a position that we need to strengthen anyway, and if he's not the man for the job, then hopefully we can find a player who is well suited. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and if you have come this far, again, let me know in the comments what you think about these players leaving. Who can we bring in? Your stance on Arteta, anything really, feedback. I would appreciate any feedback that you have if you have stuck around this long. So once again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.